Hello. So we've come out today to set the camera back up. I'm not just going to make this video from this point on all about the motion camera, but having had so much success last week with it, I'm at least going to put it up. If we get anything exciting, I'll report on it. Where I'm going to pop it back now is almost exactly where we had it last time, by the fallen tree, because we obviously had that exciting badger, and if they come through there on the regular, maybe I can actually set it up at a better height to get the badgers. I was trying to get mice last time, so it was just happenstance that wandered in, and we didn't get a great view. But if they come through there all the time, maybe we can get a really nice video of badger, which that would just be exciting, wouldn't it, really? So that's the plan. I'm going to wander over there, set it up. My batteries on my mics are a bit low, so that might be all we do for now, and then I'll charge up, come out and do some stuff later. Alright, off we go. So I've noticed the last few days that these, what look to be some kind of thistle related plants, have really gone to seed hard now. You can see they're just absolutely packed, and there's probably hundreds in there because they actually divide out. They look like a clump there, but they divide out into these tiny little, well, I say little, they're not that little. These ones that like to sort of float around and get everywhere, I guess they're about 2 or 3 centimeters across, and they are everywhere, which explains why they keep flying in my car. So yeah, a lot of seedage off these thistles now. I guess most things are getting to that stage, but there's so many of them too. If I back out, you can see the sheer amount of seeds just from this little patch alone is ridiculous. Alright, so this is the spot, and I think this is a bit of an animal thoroughfare because a lot of the brush has been tamped down, and I don't see any reason why humans would be wanting to go into the woods back there. So I'm just going to pop down back into here somewhere and pop the camera somewhere that's sort of badger height, is my theory. Alright, we're all set up now on this little tree, and it just looks into this little clearing underneath the trees. Very sheltered over. Pretty good line of sight, so we'll see what we see. But all my battery's about to run out now, so I'm off. See you soon. Alright, so we're back in the woods, into the Rita Woodoo, and we're just going to have a check on the camera, see if we've picked anything up. I'm sure we've picked something up, judging from previous times, but the question is what. So yeah, just going to have a wander back there. It's a nice quiet morning this morning. Very peaceful. Nice temperature too, just cool, not too hot. Alright, we're down in the younglings right now. I don't often do much video from down here, do I? I'm usually just passing by at the crossroads there, heading down to the old chimney or up into the more piney area that I can't remember if we have a name for. But yeah, I'm down here. I think I'm actually going to set the camera up in the useless clearing which I don't remember if I've got that marked, but we talked about it in maybe the very first video we did when we mapped out the woods. And I just made my way all the way to the back and realised there's a little grassy clearing back there that doesn't lead anywhere or anything. So anyway, I think I'm going to set the camera up in there and see if anything pops its head out. What we got from the last couple of days though is pretty cool. I guess we set the camera up maybe a touch high for some things because we got the back of a few things, including badger scarpering by again. I'm pretty sure it's a badger. A dog, I guess, that went down into. I don't know why I wouldn't think there'd be dogs running around. But yeah, I've got a dog. But also this muntjac deer, which is cool. I mean, we've seen them before, but it's nice to catch one on the trail cam. And then another deer passing by more in the distance. A rabbit, that's a new one for the trail cam. And I don't think there was much else that we hadn't seen, but that's still promising. And I will put the camera back there again because we know the badgers, you know, we've got two confirmed, semi-confirmed badgers passing through now. So I want to catch a really good video of one of them passing through, and so far I've gone too low and too high. So we'll try and get one right. But for the moment I'm just going to set up back here. Maybe we won't get anything. Everything, as you can see, is sort of heading towards autumn now. It's all yellowing over quite a lot, which we have mentioned, but it's continuing to do its thing. So that's you know, the year's continuing on. I don't really have a point other than that. It's what it does, isn't it? Look at how much the thistle seed has gathered down here. I mean, it's just absolutely bombed the area with seeds. It's mad. Interestingly, now I'm down here, it looks like this is a little clear up this way. And then as we spin round, oops, sorry, it's a little clear that way too. So looks like they've done a bit of work here. I don't know if they just use this as somewhat of a turning spot or what really, but it's been used. And the path continues. There's the clearing just back there. They've cleared it back here. Where this goes, I don't know. Maybe they just needed to get deeper into the woods for some reason. But I don't believe this path was here at the beginning of the year. I think this has been cleared through on purpose. Oh, that's interesting. This opens up a whole new area at the back of the woods I didn't know about, so at some point we'll have to have it explored, but I don't think today is the day. But I am going to set up the camera somewhere down here. The tricky thing is making it have a good view but not be super obvious that somebody just grabs it, and that honestly is the hard thing, so I may not put it out in the open. Alright, so I wandered off into the trees back here and put it on this stump that has been pretty aggressively attacked, and it's not very firmly on there, but it does have a reasonable field of view. We'll see if anything wanders about back here. I just don't know. This is new territory to me. And now I'm lost in here because it all sort of looks the same. Did I come from this way? Yes, I think we've done the right thing here. Yeah, there we go. So I just need to remember, come down here a bit and then take that first left. I did a little screenshot of the map of where I was too, so that if I totally lose it, I hopefully won't totally lose it. But yeah, it's kind of exciting that this is back here, because this is quite different in terms of vibe from the rest of the woods, because you've got these, whatever these Christmas tree types are, spruces, pines, but they're quite low and they're a little spread out, so you can actually wander between them a touch if you're willing to go over the rough terrain. And because they're low, it sort of makes a slightly different atmosphere to the really tall ones further up in the woods. So we will definitely have to explore that. Quick trip into the cornfield while we're here, and as you can see, it is out of control. If we come down and in, you can see it is forming there. Lots of corn there. And height wise, I mean, I'll give you some idea. I'll stand slightly in. I mean, it's tall. It has exceeded me now. Boy, this stuff grows like crazy. It's pretty impressive, honestly. No way one could sensibly get to the chimney. I mean, you wouldn't even know it's there now. It's over there somewhere though. I guess we can have a wander to the corner here and just look round. Yep, can't see anything here either. I need some kind of pole to put the camera up on so you can see around. But yeah, corn madness back here. Hello. It is actually the first day of the next week of recording. I'm just going to run back and pick up my video camera from wherever we left it. Now, I think I've realised that I'm going to be a bit more lenient on myself in terms of recording on this last day. Let me try and explain my schedule. So I've pretty much set a week of time to do this, and I try and record within that week. But the problem is I set that from Thursday. Let's see, how do I do it? From Thursday to Wednesday, essentially. And that gives me a chance to get the videos up by the following Monday, so it gives me half a week to theoretically edit after any of the last videos I've made before bringing it out on Monday. That's my sort of concept. But the tricky thing is my life is very busy Monday through Wednesday, pretty much start to finish. So if I don't get everything done by the weekend, well, it's probably not going to get done video wise, like recording. So that sometimes means if I want to leave like the trail cam out at those last couple of days, I essentially don't get a chance to go pick it up like I'm doing today, which is the Thursday, which would be the first day of the next week. So I think I'm just going to be a little bit more lenient with myself, because there's not a whole lot I can do about that. It really doesn't have any effect on you because you don't know what day it is. I mean, hopefully you do for you. But, wow, these thistles still look really, really just absolutely seed covered. There's just, as you walk around, just anywhere, not just in the woods, it's just seed everywhere. And you can see how just absolutely caked they are in seeds. The ground as well, they've really done well. But we're passing through the butterfly way, did I call it? I think I did. And we're heading to the crossroads, then through the younglings, and then to the useless clearing, which behind which now we know is a series of pathways that have been cleared out, where the camera hopefully will still be. But anyway, yeah, that's where I'm headed. And I just, for my own silly sense of, you know, doing things right, wanted to mention that's next week, even though it's just a quibbling of one day over the next. I at least want to mention that. But I think going forward for the rest of the year, I mean, my schedule honestly is probably going to change again soon, but I'm going to give myself a little leeway one day or the other, going backwards or forwards, just if it involves picking something up or recording something I couldn't do on a certain day. But I'm only just going to give it one day, I think, because I don't, you know, the problem is if you get too stretchy with deadlines, you just let them slip, and that's something I'm very cognizant of. I've done a few things where I try and deadline out something, whether that's been last year I did a photo a day, and I was very determined that it should be a photo a day, and not sort of like, oh, I'll just do a couple because I've forgotten to do it for a couple of days. No, it had to be that day. So sometimes I was up at midnight frantically trying to think, what can I take a picture of? Not too often, thankfully, but I think deadlines, for me at least, breed far more positivity, so and more results, honestly. So I'm quite sort of eager not to let them slip. Anyway, this is a serious ramble now, so I'm just gonna see you when we get to the camera. All right, camera retrieved. This is good. Now, what did we catch? It's taken me a little while to go through the footage, to be honest, because one thing I did catch was a lot of nothing, and I think that's just because it's been a bit breezy the last couple of days. We had quite a wide view on it, and it was all it would take is the grass shimmering a touch in the wind and it'd pick it up, which means we've got, I don't know, 100 videos a day of just some grass rustling. So I may need to, depending on how I set it up, I may need to take that into account and reduce the sensitivity on it. I didn't want to miss anything, so I had it on the highest sensitivity settings. But yeah, that's obviously a bit of an issue. That said, we got some really, actually quite pleasing deer in there. Maybe one of each kind again, because I'm definitely seeing no tail on one. And then on the other, a very clear tail and some spots. So I think we might have fallow and roe deer, which is cool. Seen them before, obviously. An amusing squirrel pop-up. A few of the animals seemed quite intrigued by the camera, which I guess is maybe possibly the smell of me on it. They're investigating it. We had a couple of misty looking days, so well, I'm assuming it was maybe a bit misty of a morning or some such, because the camera seems to clear up and I don't see any evidence of snuffling on the camera itself. So I don't think it was the camera being obscured so much as it being maybe misty for a little bit in the morning. So that's also cool. Some birds popping in and out. A variety which they're not the easiest to see. They sort of just pop into the corner of the screen occasionally. And then our old friend Mr. or Mrs. Badger coming along and knocking the camera off kilter and actually aiming it up into the sky. So for the last day, it's pretty much just shots of clouds going by, which I think was triggering it over and over again, which, you know, is kind of funny, honestly. I didn't have it very tightly secured, so I'm not surprised it got moved. And it's just, I mean, it's always great to see the badgers. So yeah, a more successful slot than I expected it to be, really. I've realized that walking and talking is enough to make me slightly out of breath, and I think that's because I don't know when to breathe, so I'm sort of breaking up my breaths in a way that is unnatural. I don't think it's that I've suddenly got super unfit. But at first I was worried that was the case, but then I was like, no, I think it's because I'm talking and not taking breaths when I need to. So anyway, yeah, I think that's probably it for this week. Or last week, as we could call it. So I think I'm just going to head off, and we'll start this week tomorrow, I suppose. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I weirdly, because of the 3-day break in the middle where we've just had the trail cam watching the little woodsy area there, I don't really remember what we talked about in this video, but I'm sure it was very intriguing. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.